What's up, fellas? So today we are going to Steven's Dyno. Actually tonight, because it's getting dark, but it's like 65 degrees. Typically this time of year I'm hunting a lot, but since it's so warm, we're gonna take a day off and take this down to Steven, and let's see if we can figure out just exactly what is going on with it. So if you remember, it's 0.4 slow of what it's been last year, and I can't see why. I changed transmissions. I did try the other converter, but I don't know if there was something unhappy in that motor, because this motor spools up way faster. It's just different. So I'm not sure if that's a valid test or not, but we tried it and it was still slow and still wouldn't do anything. So I'm kind of out of ideas, so we're going to bring it down to him. I did read a lot of comments and talk to a lot of people about what they thought could be the issue. I hear a lot of converter ones. I wish I could have went to the track one more time just to try a whole bunch of different tune-ups on the leave, because I had a lot of different opinions. A lot of people said leave on lower RPM. I watched a few videos, one with the guy from HED, Pete Harrell, and he said leaving on more RPMs, your converter should theoretically be tighter, which is what I would want in that case, since this converter is borderline loose. It's probably pretty damn good at 30 pounds, but at 36, 37, it's on the loose end. So I don't know if leaving on less RPM would have helped, but it would have been something that would have been fun to try. So I just don't know what to do. Maybe it's got some sort of valve train issues. It does have new springs, so that wouldn't really make sense. And the springs that were in it last year when it was going really fast were actually pretty junk. So I mean, I don't know there. It's the same lifter as last year. I wouldn't think they'd be bad, but maybe. The push rod's checked out for the correct length, so I really don't know. I did test the coils just with one of them jumpers. I think I told you about that in the last video, and they were working at idle, but I'm going to buy a set of factory wires, and I have a set of factory coils with me that we'll hook up and try, because theoretically, for the mile an hour it was going, it should make 900 on 30 pounds, which it should make more like 1200 on 30 pounds. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm very excited to see exactly what happens. I mean, you never really know. So, and I figured it was better doing this than cranking it way up and blowing it up on the track. So hopefully it doesn't blow up. It really shouldn't. But I'm gonna stop, get some ice, get some more plugs, get those wires, and we should be good to try this out. I'm really just pumped to see what happens. I mean, I gotta learn something and gotta figure out why it's not doing what it should. And hopefully today we can get some good ideas and maybe figure out exactly what's wrong with it. So I'm excited to see the numbers, excited to see what he does, excited to see how the car runs, and yeah, helicopter's very noisy. So anyway, we are going to hit the road. I'm gonna stop and get a bunch of ice and all that good stuff, and we'll check in with you at Stevens. So guys, I was gonna film and talk a whole bunch there, but I decided not to, because I would rather just listen and learn and get as much out of the whole experience as I can. As you know, I've been going a long time self-tuning all my stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that, but Steven's a fantastic tuner, so I really wanted to get as much out of the experience as I could for my own knowledge, and just to see and learn and what he does and how you go about things, and it definitely paid off. So we ended up making 22 pulls. I'm not going to show all of them, because that's just a lot of damn video to watch of a lot of just the same stuff, just with a degree or whatever. But I'll show a majority of kind of what we did. So first pull is coming at you right now. It was on a wastegate pressure, just to kind of get a baseline. What's it make on virtually no boost, and move on from there. So here's that. So there you go. There was a wastegate pull. It made 3.7 pounds of boost. I mean, really pouring the beans to her. But on that kind of boost, it made 498 wheel horsepower, which was kind of a lot. I was actually quite surprised. I didn't think that was too shabby for around 4 PSI. So then I figured, well, let's jump it up to around 15-ish. Just on, I think we were just on my map, the one that I had created, timing, fuel, and everything. I think he might have changed the fuel, but I think the timing was all on my timing table to begin with. And so next pull, 15 pounds. Here you go. So there you go. That was the second pull. It was on 14.7 pounds and it made 880 wheel. So not too shabby at all for only 14.7 pounds. I was definitely very happy with that. I did not think on 15 pounds that it was going to make that much power. So that was pretty cool. After that, we just decided, well, let's go up with it. I mean, 14 pounds, I don't really run it down there a whole lot. Timing looked really good. The plugs looked pretty good, so not really a whole lot to mess with there. So we decided to bump her up to 20. And so I'll show you those, and then we'll talk about that. So there was 21 pounds of boost right there. We kind of had a little calculator going based off of our first pull and our second pull on what it should make. So on 21 pounds, first pull, 16 degrees, it made 983. And it should have made around 1030-ish, according to our calculator. So that doesn't, that's not the gospel, but it's kind of what you should do. So we figured we should start playing with some timing. So we put new plugs in it, and we actually took a little bit of timing out to see if it was going to lose power. But this is where we started running into problems. We ended up making 5 pull, 6 pulls, all targeting the same boost. And it was just all over. It would make 18, it would make 22, it would make 18, it would make 22 with no rhyme or reason. I mean, you think you pull some timing, it probably will make a little bit more boost, but it was actually making less. And then you would just rerun the pull and then it would do what it was supposed to do. So clearly I have some sort of wastegate issue, which I may have mentioned in one of the previous videos, when all of a sudden you increase dome pressure 1 pound and it decides that it's going to make 7 more. So that's kind of a new thing that it just started doing, but I'll replace the gates. No, not even going to mess around with fixing them or anything like that. We'll just put different ones on, because I haven't really been, these ones work good, but they work good up until now, but it's always just had a little boost spike off the hit, and then it would taper off and go out and do its thing. So it's never been my biggest thrill in the whole world, so we might as well try something else. I'm kind of at the point, as you guys have seen, I've replaced a lot of parts and spent a lot of money on stuff that hadn't worked very good, so we're just going to jump right into something different and give something else a try. Nothing wrong with that, I guess. So that's my plan with that. But yeah, 6 pulls, all shooting for the same amount of boost. We ended up trying on 21 pounds on 19 degrees. It made 1,035, and we went to a square tune-up 2020, and it actually lost a little power. It didn't really lose any. I think it gained like 2 horsepower. It was just wasn't worth the extra degree. So we brought it back down to 19 degrees at 21 pounds, made 1,043, and here's that. There you go. That that was 1,043 on 21 pounds at 19 degrees timing. So once again, not too shabby. Very surprised with the timing number. I don't think I had that much, probably around 15 right around there. So that's pretty cool. And it's crazy how every motor's different. We were talking and he was telling me that some motors just hated timing but love fuel. We tried some fuel with this one, didn't care at all. It just wanted some timing, so we just kept putting timing in it. I did degree the reluctor and make sure it was all correct. So this is not some sort of fluke. That was a legitimate timing number, so pretty crazy. So next we jumped up to around 28 pounds, but like I said, we were having just some wicked boost control stuff, and we started just cutting out of runs because it wasn't doing what we were looking for. You know, no sense in, if you're shooting for 28 and makes 25, we just got out of it. There's no reason to keep beating on it when it's not, you're not going to get what you're looking for. So here's a 28-pound pole. So I don't have a picture of what it ended up making on 28 pounds, but we jumped around timing from, I think we made 5 passes like that, from 16 to 19 degrees, trying to get the exact one, and or at least what made the plugs look happy and where it would make the most power. And it looks like we settled around 17.5 degrees. So not too bad. Still a lot more timing than I sure would have expected, but I want to say it made right around 1150-ish, something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't have a picture of that table or that graph, but not bad at all. I mean, once again, I was more than happy with that. Everything looked great. I mean, the car is running awesome. Fuel's real good, so you know, it's looking like it's gonna end up being a converter thing, and just gonna have to do some more testing. But so we just wanted to go with some more and just kind of dial in up where I run the car the most. So after, you know, I think I said 5 or 6 28-pound pulls till we had plugs looking good, everything looked right, and then we decided to go up to 32, which was kind of sketchy because the boost controller's working great, but it ain't doing what we want for boost. And you know, in previous times, like at the track, all of a sudden it's went crazy and made a ton. So we were shooting for 32, not really knowing what was going to happen, but I'll show you a few of those right now. So you see there, we hit boost cut. That was kind of a frequent thing towards the end. We set it reasonably low just because it was like, I think it was 33 pounds, just because we just didn't want it to go haywire, especially since it was kind of frustrating trying to, you know, you're trying to put timing in it or whatever, and it doesn't do what you want, and it, you know, it was just a little bit of a battle there. So a lot of runs for nothing. Well, not really nothing, you know, you learn something every time, but a lot of runs and not really the desired results. So that was frustrating, but we got out of it early that time. Boost cut. I mean, shooting for something, and I think we tried it again, just a little different timing or something, and it didn't hit boost cut that time. So it was completely 100% at random. So we messed around, we were floating around the 16, 17 degree mark, and it ended up being very happy at 17 degrees on 32 PSI. So here is that pull, and I got a little rear end camera that I'll show you too that looked pretty cool. So check that out. y'all, that was peak power right there. It made 1,258 rear wheel horsepower on 17 degrees of timing, which is shocking. But yeah, very happy with that number. That is, as I said in the beginning of the video, it should make 1,250 on 30 pounds, or 1,200 on 30 pounds, and it made 1,258 on 32. So, I mean, that's always what I figured it should make. I mean, it should. Big turbo, E85, everything's kind of set up to make that much power, and it did. So that was awesome to see. We definitely could have made more. As you guys seen, the cars ran as high as 37 pounds. I think it should have made up mid 1300s up there. It'd have been fun to run one, but you know, you don't really need to. I mean, kind of had a consistent timing scale of where everything wanted to be. So we took maybe a degree off of kind of what we figured it would land at and put it in up there, and it should rip if I ever decide to run it that high. So, but yeah, 1,258, that's badass. So then we kind of just tried a few things. I'll only show one of them just because it was kind of interesting, but next one we just fattened it up a little bit. It didn't really dig that, so we left it alone. But my tune-up pretty much throughout this car's entire life has been 11.8 degrees on that same boost. So we decided we wanted to put the timing at 11.8 degrees. So theoretically, should make more boost, less timing, but it would never repeat itself. It made 28 pounds twice we tried it at, and it ended up making 1,080 or 1,090, which we figured at about 32 pounds would be about 1,150. So probably gained about 100 horse with a few degrees of timing. So that's pretty awesome. I guess more than a few degrees, but, or no, what was it? Yeah, it was 1150, 1180, something like that. It gained decent, so definitely was worth it. I definitely learned a ton, and I'll show you that video of it now on my timing right now. So that was pretty awesome. On that kind of timing, I definitely expected it to make like 900, but apparently the rig, it likes more timing, but it doesn't really change it a whole pile. I mean, 100 horses is quite a bit, so it definitely affected it, but I thought it was going to be an absolute turd on a 12 degrees, we'll call it, but it really wasn't. So I guess I wasn't too far off the ball with never really reading plugs or putting it on a dyno or doing anything like that to make, well, it was 1090 or 1080 or something on 28 pounds. So not too awful for just self-tuned. I mean, you guys can do it. Anybody can do it. Just put some numbers in. I didn't read plugs, but read some plugs and you can figure it out. But if you really want your stuff dialed in, you need to find a good tuner like Steven. He is fantastic. If you're in the Midwest area, you can find him. He has a dyno, and he does an awesome job. He just went through everything. We changed plugs a lot. We looked at plugs a lot and worked on some individual cylinder stuff, and the thing just turned out amazing. So super happy with it. Absolutely very, very happy that I did that. I mean, it's been a long time coming. Trying to go as fast as I am, never putting on a dyno, never really fine-tuning it. I'm surprised that I got as far as I did. So it was very, very, very worth it. And I can tell you what, I'll probably do like self-tune like that again. But at the end of the day, I'll always probably try to find some sort of dyno time, at least to dial it in. Because just, you know, hearing him talk about other combos that are unbelievably similar to this one that don't want nearly as much timing or want a lot of timing or just really, really love to be fat or whatever. I mean, it's just crazy how basically the same engine and every one of them wants something different, which makes me wonder what would it do with the ported heads on. So I might put them back on at some point and go try it again and see if maybe those wanted a lot more fuel than I was giving them or a lot more timing or something. I don't know. These did be something interesting to try. So I'll probably never just wing it for 2 years without ever putting it on a dyno again because it was a fantastic experience. I loved every second of it. Dad had a great time, so it was awesome. We were there pretty late at night. 22 runs is a lot, but I learned a ton. It was definitely well worth it. And if you guys are looking for something like that, an awesome dyno tuning session, try to hook yourself up with Steven. If you're in this area, he's very, very good. He does a lot of the really fast guys around here, so can't thank him enough for everything he did. I wish there was a track that was still open, because I would love to go try some things. Just with the leave and just with dump valve tuning and all kinds of different stuff like that. And not just little changes. I mean, I was making pretty big changes when we were there, but it was all just more of everything. So I'd like to just dink around with it a little bit. You know, leave on no little RPM, 3,500, try it. Leave on 5,000, try it. Dump valve closed, dump valve open, all kinds of stuff. I never have the dump valve open going down the track, but I do it on the brake. So I'd like to close it when it makes peak boost on the trans brake, or just something along those lines. Just try a whole bunch of stuff. So that's what I want to do. We're going to try some things, go from there. If we got to make a stator change, I will. I'm not afraid to do that. But I really like this converter going down the track. It's beautiful, but it's got to go 121 like it was before. So that'll just be some fine tuning, some messing around. But it was an awesome time. If you guys looking for a dyno, you know where to go. He does a great job. So it was super badass. I absolutely loved all of it. Very happy the car still runs. You know, with the SBC stuff, you never really know when they can just shit the bed and scatter their guts all over the floor. So this one did not do that, and that was awesome. Yeah, it's pretty much going to be a season for me now. I mean, it's cold out. I got to get Steven his transmission back and get mine rebuilt. Mine's sitting over here. I think I'm going to do it myself. I know that sounds kind of sketchy, because I'm not a transmission guy, nor have I ever done one. Well, I did do one, but with the help of a guy who is an expert at it. So maybe him and I will go through it again. Maybe I'll just do it myself and just give it a shot. But yeah, I'll have videos coming up on that. And maybe we'll talk about winter plans for a little bit too. I think I'm going to rewire the whole thing, because I don't like the way I did it. I think I can do it a lot better. I want EGTs. There's just a lot of stuff that I want to put on it. So I think I'm going to go through and redo it all. I learned a lot seeing other people's cars, just watching videos. So I think that is the plan. But that's about it. The dyno was awesome. 1258 wheel. I couldn't be happier. It'd have been fun to run it out more, but I also don't really care. I've never put it on a dyno before, so the number doesn't really matter. All matters what it does on the track. I'm just glad that the power's there, the motor's healthy. We figured out exactly what it wanted, and now we can go from there. Spring cannot come soon enough. I want to get back to the track and do some more learning with this thing, because she's been a little bit of a challenge this season, but that's how it goes sometimes. So definitely for all the issues, it was a fun season. But I'm sure I'll have more videos coming soon. I'm going to kind of start digging into this. I got to figure out if it's going to stay here or if it's going to leave for the winter. Hopefully, if it does leave, I can work on it, because I have kind of a lot of work to do, just wiring mainly. There isn't really a whole lot of other changes I would like to do to it at the moment, but you never know. Plans change. So that's going to wrap this video up, guys. Once again, big thanks to Steven. He did an awesome job. He is a fantastic tuner. So it was an awesome time. Dad and I had a great time. I was very happy to do it. It was long overdue. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.